no sé qué, hasta cuestiones más terribles como que efectivamente él o sea, se tiró encima mío en una oportunidad cuando estábamos trabajando. Y bueno, yo lo denuncié, fue súper difícil, mucha gente me dijo que no lo hiciera, que no me arriesgara a eso, que me fuera por la puerta ancha. Esa era la forma en que se decía en ese tiempo, o sea, que me fuera por la puerta ancha para no tener los problemas de denunciar a una persona tan importante en Chile.
This piece features a lot of strong and passionate female voices, um, and also tidbits of visuals featuring protest and activism. And you have women looking over history and giving their views and feelings in regards to their rights and one for equality. And it really strings together. This piece is strung together by their various accounts telling their story. And it all centers around this idea of feminism and the meaning of that, which is the prevalent topic throughout this piece. This being a female driven piece is something that I definitely admired, and respected and enjoyed to see.
It is more about feminism and how we identify as feminists. One question that was brought up in one of the conversations, or most of the conversations actually, was when did you consider yourself to become a feminist? And what was so great about this question is that it bounces back to the audience and it makes the audience have this chance of reflection of like, well, what makes me a feminist? What makes me, what question resonated with me personally was what was the moment that made me identify with being a human rights activist? And it's so interesting because we all come to this journey in different ways, but in similar tones. Sometimes we don't want to identify to be a certain way before we come to terms with it. We have this stage of denial, and this kind of explores this journey of going from denial to acceptance.
It's really brave and courageous of all the speakers, and I think it also inspires the audience to learn more and take action in their perspective worlds. And I think it's really great that this exists, and definitely something more people would benefit from watching and just kind of seeing it and having those conversations out in the world.
I hadn't known about the large feminist movement in Chile, and it was really cool to learn about that and the history behind this feminist movement. I loved how the documentary interviewed prominent feminists in the movement, especially Sofia, it being her spark that caught the meadow on fire, to reference the title of this film. Her allegations sparking so many more allegations throughout the country, helping this movement take flight in today's day and age. I thought that was really cool to learn about the history and how far it's come and how she and other modern day feminists have awakened the movement, so to speak. I loved seeing all the different demonstrations that they had in Chile, and just being able to hear from these feminists, what the movement means to them and what makes them feminists, or what made them choose to be feminists.
It was a movement that was actually needed. And really, when you hear left wing, you don't really think about feminism contrast that. But it also shows that that the terms are different in each country. This is one where they needed it. People were abusing their power, sexually assaulting women, and the fact that they got arrested, had to protest and fight for their rights, and sounds like they're still fighting for those rights in some for it. It's remarkable because they put men in powers that used them and knew people wouldn't believe them. This was a very informative documentary. They had people talking, the filmmaker had people talking who were victims, and then experts who knew what was going on. And like they said, there's people who knew, they were just keeping quiet. And it shows how much the system of blackmail was going on in this country. It's something that we don't learn about a lot, and to see people standing up for themselves is a very remarkable feat.
I was so proud of the strong feminist women interviewed in this film who have fought against abuse in Chile. I appreciated hearing from professors, artists, writers, and students. I thought the soundtrack underneath the interviews was perfect for the film, notably the soulful guitar. Excellent footage of various huge protests and flags at various times of day. Important film about this vital movement.